This media content is brought to you by Right Dream Productions. The Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the republic, the most southern of all the Caribbean islands, finds itself at another unique moment in its political evolution and in uncharted waters regarding security and public safety. Tobago, located to the northeast of Trinidad, covers 116 square miles, while Trinidad, with 1,864 square miles, is 6.8 miles northeast of mainland Venezuela. Venezuela, the republic's historically friendly neighbor with which it shares trade agreements, has been subject to repeated sanctions by the international community, as political turmoil has resulted in mass migration. The republic is experiencing sustained violent crime, with drug trafficking and gang violence at alarming levels. The United Nations Development Programme worryingly identified that in 2010, the republic rivaled Jamaica as one of the most violent countries in the Caribbean, with the annual number of murders rising by over 500%. Eminent criminologist Professor Ramesh Deosiran noted that between 2010 and 2020, the police service, the TTPS, attained a 16% detection rate for murders, which meant that for the same period, 84% of murderers were running loose. By 2023, according to the World Population Review, the Republic had the sixth highest crime rate in the world, ranking 4 places above Jamaica, and the 11th highest gun death rate globally, with 15.21 per 100,000. Jamaica held the 17th highest position globally, with 10.06 per 100,000. The gravity of the Republic's illegal firearm condition was further demonstrated by the acknowledgement of former Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines that firearms were used in 87% of homicides, and at the conclusion of 2022, there were approximately 12,000 illegal firearms in the country. The often cited smuggling route offered by a politically vulnerable Venezuela no longer served to exclusively inform the arming of the Republic's violent gangs. According to former Acting Police Commissioner McDonald Jacob, the majority of guns entering the country are not coming through illegal borders, but through the legal ports. The proliferation of illegal firearms entering from North America had been observed, resulting in the U.S. State Department of Homeland Security Investigations Unit establishing a gun intelligence unit in Trinidad, according to former United States Ambassador Candace Bond, in 2023. Staff shortages due to COVID and non-operational scanners at the docks of Port of Spain may have contributed to the influx when one gleans the disclosures made by Deputy Customs and Excise Comptroller Yassim Harris. Harris, appearing before a Parliamentary Joint Select Committee, worryingly stated that from January to August, we scanned 3,998 containers out of 23,000. On the 31st of December, 2024, the Republic's government declared a state of emergency as homicides and anticipated reprisal killings by warring gangs threatened its national security. This is not the first time that the government of the Twin Island Republic has used its most extreme powers to respond to violent crime, fueled largely by gangs who favor AR-15 rifles. In 2011, the coalition government, the People's Partnership led by Kamla Persad-Bissessar, used the measure in almost identical circumstances. Under her People's Partnership administration, 2010 to 2015, attempted a fierce, three-pronged approach against gangs which involved law, policy, and strategy. Her then coalition administration implemented an historic anti-gang legislation, Interception of Communications Act, and aimed at a controversial soldier police bill. The bill, which sought to give powers of arrest to soldiers in the joint patrol arrangement with the TTPS, did not receive PNM opposition support. The United National Congress has returned to power, this time with an historically larger majority and a Ministry of National Security diffused between two departments, a Minister of Homeland Security occupied by the legendary former Senior Superintendent of Police Roger Alexander, while legal luminary Wayne Sturge serves as Minister of Defense. Successive government administrations of the Republic have made significant contributions to public safety and security through laws and policies. For the foreseeable future, however, for reasons that will be explored, they have simultaneously failed to demonstrate the necessary political will and have, in some instances, failed to provide a clear strategic understanding, let alone commit to what is required to successfully respond to issues of crime. These factors have caused crime, which is usually best described as a matter of public safety, to be elevated to the level of national security. At the beginning of 2025, the Rowley-led administration, by way of parliamentary approval, as is the constitutional requirement, extended the state of emergency for 90 days as the Twin Island Republic grapples with murders. Travel advisories continue to be dispatched by the American, Canadian, and British governments. On Friday, the 18th of July, 2025, acting upon the advice of the Prime Minister, a second state of emergency of 2025 was declared by President Christine Kangaloo. A press release by the TTPS acquired intelligence which uncovered an alleged plot by networks within the prison to destabilize the country. The plot, alleged to have included planned attacks on police officers, members of the government, state prosecutors, and the judiciary, was deemed by the government as sufficiently credible for the Republic's most extreme measure to be triggered. Like the predecessor, Rowley-led PNM administration, the state of emergency did not include a curfew. President Donald Trump, as part of his America First revamping of its domestic and foreign policy, by way of executive order in January of 2025, placed a 90-day moratorium on military aid to a number of foreign countries. While this may be temporary as the administration prioritizes its interests, only time will tell how this absence of funding and training may, in the long term, affect the Republic's defense force, which has benefited significantly from this assistance historically, as has its police service. Recently, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro made the worrying claim that a paramilitary group intent on causing subversive activities entered Venezuela via Trinidad. After all, Trinidad is merely 6.8 miles from Venezuela. While an immediate response from Trinidad's Ministry of Defense was that there was no proof of such, the probability of this cannot be underestimated or understated. In the first edition of this book, which was released in 2016, consideration had been given that a destabilized Trinidad with an overwhelmed police service will become attractive to persons with dubious interests. This includes foreign-trained fighters, persons with trigger time, deportees, and gangs will integrate to create hybrid entities that may challenge the state. For these reasons, an objective interrogation of where the Republic finds itself and where it is going has become critical. Critical since the indicative signs reveal the disturbing forecast that the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is standing perilously at the crossroads of becoming a criminal state.